2, 1. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's be honest, we all have sat on our skateboards at some point and pretended to be riding a go-kart and wondering what it would be like to add a steering wheel to it. Well, wonder no more. They really did it. The REV Skateboard team did it. They made a working Gokart kit for electric skateboards. I've been using and riding it for a few days now. This is not a sponsored review. I bought this kit with my own money, and I'm going to give you my brutal, honest thoughts on it. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. Let's get started. First, let's talk about shipping. This is being shipped from China. I placed my order on October 18th. Product landed in California on November 10th, and I received the product on November 12th. The shipping was $90. So in addition to the cost of the product, you also have to pay $90 on shipping. Roughly about a month for sea shipping. Once it gets into the United States, the shipping is very fast. It took about 2 days to get from California to where I live. The installation process is fairly easy. It took me about 1 hour to complete, but adjusting the wheel alignment and the steering wheel alignment was very tricky. It took me about 3 to 4 hours to complete. The alignment is basically making sure the front wheels are completely parallel to each other, and also at the same time the steering control arm is still in the center of the board and your steering wheel is completely aligned. So it basically adjusts the short and the long linkages to adjust these three things. In my experience, there's always something that is slightly off, but ultimately I was able to align the front wheels and also align the steering wheel to my best ability. Pro tip: do not put Loctite on any of the bolts from the linkages until you test drive. The wheels may look aligned, you won't notice until you actually start driving this on the road. When it comes to compatibility, this is made for the Phantom X, but it is also DIY compatible. It will fit any board with an angled truck mount, so you just need to drill holes into the deck. So it would work on something like this, but not this. Build quality is top-notch. Everything about this skateboard is very carefully crafted. I was expecting this to be roughly made, and it's actually very meticulously machined and anodized. It does look like a finished product, not something that came out of someone's DIY garage. If you do DIY, I recommend you install this on a skateboard that has a low center of gravity, perhaps a race board or something like that, so it will be more stable. Also something that is powerful, because this is more of a speed kart setup. Speed is essential. If you have a super weak board, it won't be as fun unless you have a very powerful board that you're putting this onto. Alright, let's talk about the turning geometry and the ergonomics of this go-kart kit. As you can see, my steering wheel is a little bit tilted. That's the best I can get it to. So far I'm going to leave it like this. I'm just going to drive it like this. It's completely fine. So one thing I've noticed is that for high speed stability, don't lean on the back, right? Don't sit completely in the back, because just like a skateboard, you'll shift a lot of the weight to the back wheel, and as you're going very fast, like say close to 30 miles per hour, the front becomes very floaty. Even if you have the front wheels perfectly dialed, it's going to be very, very floaty. So what I do is I sit a little bit up in the front, and then I shift my weight towards the steering wheel. This will help with the floatiness. This will help push the weight a little bit forward and stabilize the whole system. Another thing I want to talk about, at speed, even going at like 10 miles per hour, you absolutely cannot let your hand off of the steering wheel. The steering wheel has no resistance at all, so it's very, very twitchy. Even at 10 miles per hour, the second you let your hands off, it's just going to take like a 90-degree turn and go somewhere else. So you have to have your hands on the steering wheel and then like tense your muscles and control the steering wheel at all times. If you don't, the go-kart will kind of snap to the left and right, and when it does that, it will throw you off the skateboard. I haven't fallen off of the skateboard yet, but I've gotten pretty close. I've gotten pretty close on several occasions. I'm just going to demonstrate that real quick. Okay, I'm going to let my hands off. It just takes a hard right. It takes a hard right. Okay, you can see like it's going straight. Oh, now it's taking a hard left, and I'm only going at 10 miles per hour. If I'm going at like say 20 and let go of my hands, oh my gosh, see, like
it immediately turns into a direction, and the direction is random too. It's not like I miscalibrated my wheels, it always turns to the left or the right. The direction can be random. It can either be the left or right. This effect amplifies when you're going faster, and it can be absolutely very dangerous if you don't put your hands on the steering wheel. Oh my gosh, see, you just took a very hard right. So yeah, you have to keep your hands on here all the time. I did a couple miles like that and my arms were tired. My hands were shaking. You want to rest your elbow or your forearm on your legs like this. So you want to do that and then hold on to the steering wheel. This way, your legs will give your arm support to kind of really hold on to the steering wheel. A high-speed stability position that you want to do is rest your forearm on your legs, grip the handlebar really tightly, and then lean forward. You want to shift some of that weight to the middle and the front of your vehicle. You don't want to sit back and try to lean on the backrest, because that will shift all of the weight onto the rear wheels, and that's going to kind of introduce a little bit of instability. You definitely don't want to do that. I am at half battery on the Phantom, and even at half battery, it is crazy. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa, that was not like using 100% of the power. It gets kind of twitchy after 25, so I can still manage at 30. Whoa, shit. Like right there, it just took like a right for no reason, and I had to counterbalance myself and then let go of the throttle before I freaking flip over. So it's kind of dangerous if you have a really powerful electric skateboard. Gotta show you the back. A lot of people are like saying, oh, it's not stable. This thing comes with metal bushings. Rear is completely stable. In theory, this board should be very stable, but it's not. It's incredibly twitchy. There's no resistance to turning. I think a good addition in the future would be to add steering dampers. It does not feel like a go-kart. It feels like you're sitting on a skateboard, for sure. Like 100%, this does not feel like a traditional go-kart. This feels like you are sitting on a skateboard with a steering wheel, except it's a little bit better than that. I think in the future, what I want to see is a wider wheelbase, so that it's a lot more stable in the front. Right now it's very twitchy, and also I cannot make hard turns because I'm just going to fall off the skateboard. This kit can turn very hard. The problem is me, like the center mass. I have nothing to lean on. I have nothing to kind of hold myself onto the skateboard. Whenever I turn really hard, the front wheel just comes up. I would be essentially riding a tricycle during a very hard turn. And also for the seat, there's not a lot to rest on. So it's not a super capable turning machine, I would say, but it's still got one trick up its sleeve, so that's the drift wheels. So we're gonna do the drift wheels in another review, but so far I'm just reviewing like stock skateboard configuration, and I think that is pretty awesome. The riding style of this board is more like a speed board. It's more like a race board.
Let's talk about the mechanical differences from other go-karts, such as the Segway. So I do have a Segway Gokart Pro 2. So I've been go-karting for a while now. Let me sum up the pros and cons of this kit when comparing to like a real go-kart. Yeah, I know I'm calling a Segway Gokart a real go-kart, but it is close enough. I would say the Segway Gokart is a lot closer to a real go-kart than this Gokart kit. Number one is raw speed. The Phantom has so much power and torque, with a top speed close to 50 miles per hour, while the Segway Gokart Pro 2 has a top speed around 25 miles per hour. Because you're sitting very close to the ground, going at 25 miles per hour feels extremely fast. But the Phantom Gokart, even under the most ideal conditions, with the perfect wheel alignment and optimizations, would still get very wobbly around 30 miles per hour. To maintain stability, you need to use all the strength of your arms while resting them against your leg. This really helps stabilize the go-kart, as the go-kart does not have any other means of stabilization. Also, when going fast, don't lean back like on a normal go-kart. You'll need to lean forward and transfer that weight forward. Moving the weight to the front and removing the weight from the rear helps quite a bit with stability. Phantom X Go-Kart is twitchy, around 30 miles per hour. Riding fast will require your absolute mental focus and arm strength. It is not a relaxing ride. I feel like at any moment I could flip over if not careful. But this kind of adds into the thrill of the ride. The steering wheel does not have any resistance whatsoever. When you're going at a lower speed, it feels fine, but when you're going at a fast speed, it's actually very twitchy. The Segway Gokart Pro 2 has a spring-loaded double linkage system that is controlled from the center, while the Gokart Kit has a short linkage and a long linkage. So the geometry is very different. The Segway, you can definitely feel a very large amount of steering resistance, while the Gokart Kit doesn't have any. I'm just going to be honest, I'm going to repeat this word so many times. It is a very twitchy experience, and you absolutely do need to use the full strength of your arms leaned against your legs in order to completely bring the vehicle under your control at high speeds. So when it comes to agility and being nimble, this is the best the skateboard can do, which is weaving in and out of cones every 2 spaces or so. Every 1 space, it's way too tight for the skateboard. I can't go in and out any faster because if I tried, I would actually fall off the skateboard. Surprisingly, the Go-Kart actually does very well in the grass. Even though I'm using completely bald slicks, it still has a pretty good amount of grip because there's more resistance in the grass. The steering wheel feels less twitchy when you're off-road, and I actually have a lot of fun doing off-road stuff. I think what I'm going to do is get off-road tires and do more off-road adventures with this board. The skateboard is a lot higher than the traditional Go-Kart. Go-Kart is very low, and because this is a skateboard, it's pretty high. I think it makes a pretty good off-road adventure Go-Kart on packed dirt or grass. Of course, it can't like rock climb or something like that, but it's pretty nice. So the Phantom X Gokart Kit is, at the end of the day, still a skateboard. You're sitting on a skateboard. It comes with the inherent inefficiencies of a skateboard, such as its height, its flex, but I think for an extra $350 to temporarily convert it into a go-kart and have fun for a period of time before you can easily switch back into your skateboard configuration is priceless. For how well this is engineered and polished, I really love what REV Skateboard is doing here. I think my Phantom X is going to stay in the go-kart form for at least the winter. What do you think about this go-kart kit? Do you have any questions for me? If you do, please sound off down below so I can try to answer them. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.